Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Secretary Yellen, for appearing before the committee. It's been a long time coming. I know Democrats control the House and the Senate and the White House, but our expectation is that the Treasury Secretary comply with the law and appear before our committee and other committees as the law dictates. So we're grateful you're here, but this is long overdue, especially considering the Russia-Ukraine conflict, and also what we note on Capitol Hill. The Chinese government is taking notes, especially to the U.S. response in this conflict. The Biden administration's sanctions have helped isolate the Russian economy. That's good, but it was reactive at best. We watched as Russia amassed troops at the border last fall, all the while claiming no plans for invasion, a claim parroted by Chinese officials as late as February 23rd even. And at the same time, all of this is happening with Russia and Ukraine, we see China's continued activities in the Taiwan Straits, and they're telling us that supporting Taiwan is, quote, dangerous, end quote, to our relationship. We must remain clear-eyed about who we're dealing with here. China must feel the pinch of its no-limit partnership with Russia. While the Biden administration eventually sanctioned Russia, it also unwittingly provided a means by which China could help Russia circumvent those sanctions. Let me explain. Last year, the Treasury Department bypassed Congress and approved a general allocation of International Monetary Fund special drawing rights, SDRs, sending Russia and Belarus more than $18 billion in de facto $18 billion in no-strings-attached liquidity. State sponsors of terrorism like Iran and Syria received billions more, by the way. Republicans warned that an SDR allocation ran counter to U.S. sanctions policy. As the Putin regime continues its assault on Ukraine, it is clear our concerns were justified. And yet even OFAC seeks to block Russia's access to foreign reserves. At the same time, our country allowed SDRs to become a lifeline that the Russians may exchange for Chinese currency, for the Chinese RMB. Now, U.S. officials have to ask foreign countries not to redeem the very same Russia SDRs this administration pushed for just a few months ago. This policy doesn't make any sense. That was a bad decision. And I think it's important that the public recognize, and this administration recognize, that Congress is a partner in this fight, this international fight that we have. It is the Treasury Department that has a duty to keep us informed. To date, we have yet to receive certain reports related to the international financial institutions under your remit. This includes policies regarding China, Taiwan, and efforts against terrorism financing generally. I appreciate the Treasury's work in terrorism and financial intelligence. It's good work. But here, too, the Treasury must respect the oversight of Congress, and it is simply unacceptable that Treasury officials have dodged public hearings for as long as they have. We have to work to ensure that we have maximum pressure on Moscow so that the Putin regime changes course in Ukraine. But at the same time, we cannot keep our eye off the challenge that China poses and the risks that a rising China poses to the stability of the world. So, Secretary Yellen, thank you for being here. And with that, Chairwoman, I yield back.